I'm glad you could make it to the session today. Would you like to tell me how things have been lately?
I had to come to the session today and see you because I've been struggling with a lot of problems at home.
You sound quite disturbed as you say that.
Yes, my difficulties just seem to escalate, and I've been struggling with my husband's drinking problem, and because of that, our finances are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And now I feel that my children are also growing up, and their needs are, by each passing day, their needs are more and more. And I've started worrying about their education and how will I fund it, and also my health concerns.
Sure. So you're talking about a range of different problems. From the way you're describing it, though, it seems that your financial difficulties are the ones that are bothering you the most. Is that correct?
Yes, that's the most stressful thing right now for me.
Sure. Let me pause there for a moment. One of the things that has changed over a period of time is that you've started doing a lot of different activities that have helped you feel better. I'm wondering if this is a good time now to address the kind of problems you're talking about, like your financial difficulties, like your health, your children's future, your husband's drinking problem. But like we discussed, that maybe the focus needs to be on financial difficulties. So, is this a good time to start focusing on the problems?
Yes, I think I would like some help with my financial difficulties at this moment, though there are other issues as well, which I'm facing, but right now I would like to take care of this particular problem.
Sure, I appreciate there are a range of issues, but I think it's very, very important that we focus on one problem at a time. And I'm glad that we are agreeing on that one problem of financial difficulties to begin with. Once you're able to deal with this problem or manage it better, we can always move on to the remaining problems.
Right, yes, that should be useful.
So, as far as your financial difficulties are concerned, could you tell me a little bit about what it is that is happening presently? How would you define this problem?
I'm not able to manage the monthly budget for my family. Actually, a lot of money is just spent on my husband's drinking, and that makes us save nothing for ourselves or for our children's future. So, yes, that's what's troubling me.
Sure. Do you have any ideas about what you could do in order to manage these finances differently?
I was thinking of taking up another part time job apart from my regular job. But I don't know how I will do that, or else I can ask my brother for help, but I am not sure whether he'll help me out.
Sure. It's wonderful that you're thinking of certain options, and I think at this stage it's important that we keep all options open. Let's continue to brainstorm about other possible options. I recall in one of the sessions you had also mentioned to me that sometimes there are some unnecessary expenses in a month. Do I remember that right?
Yes, that tends to happen, but I think that is something that I can control. But I don't, by the end of the day, I just forget how much money has been spent where. So I can't recollect, how much of my expenditure is something that can be controlled.
Sure, I think it's difficult to remember expenses over a period of a month. It's a long time. I'd like to suggest a technique whereby you could try and remember this by actually noting it in a diary. Do you think you could save maybe 5 minutes at the end of every day and record the expenses per day over a period of time? And you could then review that at the end of a week and at the end of a month to identify where you have spent your money and where you might be able to save. How does that sound?
Yes, I can start writing down my daily expenses and see where I can, cut down on my expenses. But I am not sure whether I'll remember to write it down every day.
Sure. I'm glad that you're bringing that point up because it's important that when we plan for you to do a particular activity that we think of ways in which you will actually be able to do that. So what we've agreed so far is that you will keep a record of your expenses, you will make a note of it in a diary, and you will spend 5 minutes every day to do this. Um, but let's think about some way in which you may be able to remember or remind yourself to do this. Any suggestions?
I can keep the diary in the kitchen, because I'm mostly working there by the end of the day.
Sure.
So if the diary is there, then I can easily note down my expenses for the day and not forget it.
Okay, that's an excellent suggestion. Let's try that for a few days and see how it works out. How do you feel about this option that we've just agreed upon?
Yeah, I think this should be helpful, and I can maybe see how much I've spent in 2 weeks' time. I can
Sure.
review my expenses then.
Sure. So it's a great idea that we will try this. We will review whether it has helped or not helped. In the event that this solution may not address the problem of the financial difficulty, can you think of a backup plan?
Yes, then the next option that I have is speaking with my brother for help.
Sure. So it's wonderful to know that we've identified the problem, and not only are you thinking of one possible solution, which is reviewing how you're spending your money and possible savings during the month, but if that doesn't work, that you have an alternative about seeking support from your brother.
Yes.
Great. Let's try this and then we can review this in 2 weeks' time.
Okay. Thank you.